We will start now chapter 4, sorting materials into groups. Look around in your drawing room and see the various objects around you. You can see chair, sofa, TV, curtains and windows, doors, statues or any art material. These all materials you can see are of different color, different shape, they are made up of different materials and they have different uses. Now, have you ever thought how can we group these materials? Now, suppose you are asked to collect some round objects, what will you do? You can collect football, cricket ball, tennis ball, plastic ball. These are all round objects, so you can group them together, all round objects. Or if you are asked to collect all near round objects which are not round but approximately round, in that you can collect, think over it, think yourself first of all, you can collect lemon, apple, watermelon, orange. These are not perfectly round but they are almost round in shape. So, like this you can group them together on the basis of some properties which are similar. So, we can group the materials according to if the oils are there, different types of oils are there in the houses, they can be grouped together like olive oil, mustard oil, they can be grouped together. Grouping of fruits, all the fruits can be kept together. Clothes, all the clothes together, you do not mix up all the things, you keep them separately at home. All the metals can be kept separately and all type of soaps, all the type of soaps are kept together at a separate place. It is not that it is mixed up with all the things. So, we group them in accordance with their similar properties. Now, if you are suppose asked to collect all the plastic objects, what will you do? In your house, what will you do? You will collect all the plastic objects like your lunch box, like a glass, cup, plate, bucket or a plastic jug, plastic cup. So, like this you can collect different materials on the basis of their properties. This is how we can group the different kinds of materials. Now, let us see this table now. In this table, in the first column are written certain objects, you can see like tumbler, and now you can write in the second column by which material these objects are made. A tumbler can be made from the glass, it can be made from steel, it can be made from plastic, it can be made from brass or aluminum. So, like this you see different objects here and then write the material from which this object can be made, like chair can be made from wood also, aluminum also, steel also, plastic also and so on. So, like this you can complete this table yourself, see what material can be, what different kinds of materials can be used to prepare these objects. Let us see another table here. Now, in this table, in the first column is written the material, different kinds of material like steel, cotton, leather, plastic, stone, wool, wood, coir, and what different kinds of objects which can be made from these materials. Like steel can be used to make so many things, like it can be used to make the chair, table, machines, bridges, vehicles, car, motors, ships. So many things can be made from steel. Similarly, cotton can be used to make so many things, quilts, mattresses and the clothes and curtains and anything. So, you can complete this table yourself and then on the basis of the material what different kinds of objects you can think which can be made from these materials. So, you have seen that how we try to group the various objects on the basis of their properties, on the basis of color or on the basis of the material of which they are made up of, or on the basis of their shape. So, let us discuss now how the groups can be made on the basis of the properties, and this is called classification. You know, classification is a method of sorting the various objects into groups on the basis of their similar properties. Now, materials can be classified into two types on the basis of the occurrence. Like naturally occurring materials which occur in nature, like wood, like fruits, cereals, jute, silk, cotton, wool. So, all these things occur in nature, so they are naturally occurring materials. You can think about some more naturally occurring materials and make a list of all the naturally occurring materials which can come into your mind. And then man-made materials, try to think now what are the man-made materials you are using, like plastic, like rubber. Rubber, of course, rubber is also naturally occurring, it is obtained from the plant, so we cannot include in this. And steel, that does not occur naturally, but of course iron occurs naturally. So, think about some more man-made materials which do not occur in nature, which are made by man. Now, how to use the various materials to make different objects? Can you use any material to make any object? Think over it. No, you cannot. First you have to study the properties of the materials, and then only you will decide what type of object should be made from that material. Like suppose you have to make a spoon. Spoon can be made from steel also, wood also, plastic also, but you have to keep in mind that this is plastic spoon or wood spoon cannot be placed on the fire directly, it will burn. Only steel spoon can be placed on the fire and can be used, but for other purposes, of course, plastic spoon and wood spoon can be used. Now, if you have to make a cooking pot, can you make it with the help of a paper or a cloth? It cannot be made, because if you make a cooking pot by any chance with a paper or a cloth, it will burn. So, first of all, you have to keep in mind the property of the material, then only it can be used to make a object. Now, what are the common properties of the materials? The material occupies space. The space occupied by the material is called volume. So, all materials occupy space, all materials have volume, and all materials have mass, which can be measured with the help of a balance. And now we can understand what is matter. Anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. So, everything around you is matter. Everything of which is this universe is made up of, your body, flesh, bones, all the objects you see around you are different forms of matter. Water, air, rivers, seas, all these are different forms of matter. They are like even radio, TV, all these are matter, because they all have mass and have volume. But the signals which these TV and mobiles receive are not matter, and the feelings also are not matter. So, everything that occupies space and has mass is matter. Now, what is matter made up of? Now, if you try to break, suppose a iron piece into small particle, go on breaking it into small and small and small particles until it cannot be broken further. So, the smallest particle which is obtained will be the atom. The smallest particle will be iron atom, and this atom name was given by the scientist Johann Dalton in 19th century. He gave this name atom to the smallest particle of matter. Now, gold you all must know about gold. The smallest particle of gold is gold atom. The smallest particle of carbon is carbon atom. The smallest particle of aluminium is aluminium atom, right. The smallest particle of water is not atom, it is molecule. Water molecule. You know what is molecule? Molecule is formed by two or more atoms. Like water molecule is formed by two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Like, right, but oxygen molecule is formed by two oxygen atoms only. Now, another pure form of matter we have to study. The matter exists in two pure forms, elements and compounds. Elements are those pure substances which contain only one type of atoms, like gold, like iron, like oxygen, hydrogen, helium. Let me write here some of the common elements: helium, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, gold, iron, copper, and so on, right. So, what is element? As I told you, element contains only one type of atoms. If we break any element into small pieces, the smallest particle obtained will be the atom of the same type. About 118 elements are known till now, out of which 98 elements occur in nature. Other elements are made by the scientists in the laboratory. About elements, of course, you will study in detail later on. Only very little I would like to tell you about some gases like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen. Smallest particle in this case is also same, but in this case oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen occur as molecules, but the molecules are made up of same type of atoms. Oxygen is made up of oxygen molecule which is made up of oxygen atoms. Oxygen molecule is made up of two oxygen atoms. Hydrogen is made up of hydrogen molecule, and hydrogen molecule is made up of two hydrogen atoms, and in details you will study later. Now, about compound I told you, water is a compound, carbon dioxide is a compound, and millions of compounds can be formed by these 118 elements. By the combination of all these elements, a large number, a vast variety of compounds can be formed by the combination of atoms of different elements. Some of the compounds I have written here which are very common, like water. Just a rough idea what are compounds I want to give you, details you will study later. Water is a compound, it is made up of the elements hydrogen and oxygen. Then common salt, the kitchen salt which you use to cook the food. Your mother cooks the food for you using this common salt, without which the food will become tasteless. So, common salt is made up of the elements sodium and chlorine. Two elements, sodium is element, chlorine is also element, and two elements combine and form the compound. Now, sugar, common sugar which you add to milk or to make any squash, etc. Sugar which is used in the kitchen is made up of the elements carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So, these three elements are used to make combined to form sugar. Sand, the common sand in the garden is made up of two elements silicon and oxygen. Urea is made up of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen. So, these 4 elements combine and form urea. Washing soda, which is used to wash the clothes, is made up of sodium, carbon, oxygen. So, you can see some of the compounds and the names of the elements by which these compounds can be made, and you can very well imagine, just like 26 alphabets which make a variety of English words, same way 118 elements combine to form a large number of compounds.